Hi there, it's Darlene. I hope you're doing well. Oh my goodness, have I ever got a lot to tell you. I should have had this video out a week ago, but I didn't realize what these guys were pulling. I can't believe it. See, I did notice back in December that when I started getting emails from Jono, I started getting emails from Jonaslindgren at the same time. As you can see in my emails here, it started off just being Jono, and then all of a sudden Jonaslindgren started up. Oh, there's a big surprise. Because, I mean, if you've been watching my other videos, you'll know that these guys hooked up the last time, this time last year, actually December last year, when they put out the Infinity System, which was their previous AI bot system, which failed horribly. And they were partnered up there. Now, prior to that, Jonas partnered up, well, a year prior to that, with Trevor Carr with Project Limitless. They went through about 3 different iterations of the bot there. Then after that, but before the Infinity System, Jonas partnered up with Dan Can, and he came out with a new bot called Hyperion. This is important to remember. And then was the Infinity System, then a year went by, and now we have Aurora. Now, when I was watching what Jonas was putting out, and it was interesting enough, but he was basically just saying how good Aurora was. But I always thought it was very strange because Jono never directly references him in the video, except to say how well Jonas is doing with the bot. Okay. With the Infinity System, Jonas was brought in as a partner, somebody who was working with Jono. And it was obvious. And I mean, everybody who knows Jonas knows that he's the brain behind the bot. He's the guy that's into the bots. He's the one that's dragging in these big marketers to get them to front it. But Jonas is the one that knows the bots. He's always been the one that knows the bots. Okay. But in this time with Aurora, he's not being brought in as a partner. In fact, it just, from all that we're supposed to think, he's just an affiliate. However, on December the 14th, Jonaslindgren put out this one here, that if you don't like challenges, here's the video, which was pretty interesting, actually. And this was interesting because in this video, he was telling us that there is going to be a 100% guaranteed way to pass a 100K Forex challenge. And he wasn't going to be rolling it out until mid-January. So I thought, oh God, what is Jonas and Jono doing now? I mean, because there is no 100% guaranteed way to pass a prop firm challenge. Oh, yes, there is, actually. I see now what he's got planned. I'd love to know, though. And oh, by the way, yes, this is going to be audience participation time. If you're in Aurora, I need your help. And actually, you need mine. You need to keep listening, actually, because there's a lot happening that you don't realize. And I need to verify some things, and this will be only to your benefit. And I can get some information out to people. Keep listening. So anyways, I'll tell you about the guaranteed challenge pass in just a minute because, yeah, he actually can guarantee it, but it's a really greasy, slimy way to do it, and I don't like it. It's legal, though, totally legal, but... So anyways, I started looking into what Jonas was doing because here he is pumping out a ton of videos here in January, and I just thought he was going on and on about Aurora until I started looking at them. And then it became all these videos about the challenge pass and everything. And so then I started watching them and I found out what it was all about. Here's what it is. I'll tell you, first of all, I was flabbergasted because going through his videos, I thought, what the hell? Jonas is running his own promo side by side with Jono's? This makes no sense. Oh, but it makes all kinds of sense if they're both kind of doing their own thing, but they're working in conjunction. And I'm sure that's what it is now. So he is offering, if you go through this video, you'll see that he is offering to pass your challenge using an HFT bot. This is not the Aurora Bot, nor the Infinity, Hyperion, or previous bots at all. This is a very, very different animal. What is an HFT bot? HFT means high frequency trading. Basically, it's a bot that takes tons and tons and tons of little trades faster than any human could ever do it. We're talking micro or milliseconds, and it does it tons of tiny little trades very quickly. These things are 100% guaranteed to pass a challenge. I have never heard of or seen an HFT bot fail, okay? It is guaranteed. And guess what? The major prop firms do not allow them, okay? Basically, what an HFT bot does is it trades on the differences between prices at a given time, but that's microseconds apart between one broker and another, or it on latency. Like, for example, if you're sitting there in a skyrise right beside the New York Stock Exchange, and I'm sitting here in Armpitsville, Nowheresville, Canada, and we both hit execute on the exact same trade at the exact same time, guess whose trade is going to execute faster, yours or mine? If you're sitting right beside the New York Stock Exchange, yours is going to, because you're closer, and it just doesn't have as far to go, and it's just latency. It's latency. That's what it's all about. And so it trades off of things like latency and the differences, these slight differences in pricing between brokers, and a couple other ways too. And I understand how his is doing it too. So yeah, they're idiot proof. It's also why none of the decent prop firms allow them. Okay? None of the major prop firms will ever allow them, because you have to keep in mind one fact that is always true. Prop firms make their money from people losing challenges. Now, you might say, oh, no. There's the 80-20 split where I get 80% and the prop firm gets 20%, and the prop firm makes his money from that 20%. No, they don't. No, they do not. There's only maybe about 3% of the people actually pass a prop firm challenge. So, and the rest of them just fail. So what would you rather get? 97% of 100% or 20%? No, you'd rather get those 100 percentages. And that's how they make their money. Now, if you think about it, it would take me using a bot and manual trading probably about a month to pass a prop firm challenge, assuming I was successful. Then, assuming I passed it, I might then, many people would only last another week or two, and then they blow it. And that's even if they ever passed it. Usually they get a week or two into it, and then they're going to fail. It's just the way the vast majority of it is. I've failed many times, can't count it. And that's how they make their money. Now, if you were a prop firm, what if you could speed up that failure rate? Wow. So that I was actually taking more tests and spending more and spending more often. Makes sense, doesn't it? Enter high frequency trading bots. You've got some scuzzy little prop firms out there that will allow high frequency trading bots, HFTs, to pass the challenges, and then when you get onto the funded account, you must use a normal bot or trade it yourself, whatever is your poison. And here's what happens. An HFT bot will pass it within a day or two, tops 3 days. That's abnormal though, but stay 3 days. And then you've got your challenge, you've passed it, and now you're on your own. People that use HFTs don't have a clue how to trade. So then they're on their own in a funded account. And within a week, usually, people will have blown that account. Ho, 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 ho. This makes all kinds of sense for these scungy little prop firms, because then they can churn them and burn them that much faster. And to make sure that people burn, they make these horrible rules. They'll have all kinds of extra rules that the normal big prop firms don't have. The one that's the biggest is consistency rules, but there are others. And this is all to make sure that you fail as fast as you can so that they can make as much money as fast as they can. Quantic Trading Capital is one of the 3 firms that Jonas is recommending for his HFT bot. And if you just look under Trustpilot, my God, I mean, all you can see is, well, you'll see some positive reviews as well, but if you look at the negative reviews, it's precisely what I'm telling you about the hidden rules and all the stupid reasons that they'll give for not giving profits. He thinks it's just fine to use one of these bots on, with one of these nasty little firms. But no, it's not. You won't get your money, and they'll do everything they can to fail you. But does Jonas care? No, because he's going to get the money that you have to pay him for the bot, for passing the challenge for you. Oh yeah, and he says he's going to pass the challenge for you. All he's going to do is throw his HFT bot on there and charge you for the privilege. And you know how much those HFT bots are worth? Nothing. You can get them for free. And as I said, I've never heard of one actually failing. Here's in YouTube. Just type in the search bar, free HFTEA or bot, whatever. And you'll come across tons of them. You don't have to spend a lot of money on them because they are idiot-proof. And they are as common as hairs on a dog's back. Now, this page here, where it has 2 options, it used to look like this, with 3 options. Look at option 1. Get the Hyperion bot for free today. $0 for 14 days, then $27 a month every 30 days. Cancel anytime. Wow. Well, isn't that a sweet deal? So I took him up on it. This was a few days ago. I was bored. I thought, well, 14 days for free, hell, I can cancel. So off I went and got it through Warrior Plus. I only got it for, oh my God, I was only in for maybe 4 hours before he cut my access off and barred me from buying it again. He barred me from my IP address. Of course, go through a VPN or a VPS and I'm golden, I can get back in. But you know what? He's now taken off that option. And I know why now, too, once he saw I had my hands on it. You would not believe what I found out, and this is going to blow your mind. And look at that. He was going to charge $27 a month for it for the 14-day free trial. Seriously? Huh. Remember how I was telling you that there were all these other bots beforehand? Well, I finally did a side-by-side comparison of all of the settings, because you see, I've got copies of all these bots. Now, I didn't bother getting any of the Project Limitless ones because they're so old. I was like, I don't want them. But I remember seeing the last bot, which was called Marcy. M-A-R-S-I, Marcy. What that was a bot that used moving average, 2 indicators that are called moving average and RSI, or relative strength index. These are 2 of the most common indicators in Forex, and people use them to manually trade, and certain bots will use them to help them to place orders. Well, that's what Marcy did. I always called her she. She used moving average and RSI to place trades. Only it didn't do a very good job of it, and no matter what they tried, it never really worked. But I always thought that bot had promise. Well, you know what? When you go to Hyperion, it's got MA and RSI as well. Now, I haven't been able to compare Hyperion to Marcy, but I'd love to. I can probably do that, find somebody that's still got Marcy. But anyways, I started comparing one of the original Hyperion bots to a newer one, and then a newer one, and I noticed, oh my God, these are the same bots. They're just being added to. Gradually over time and changing. And then I compared. This is the Hyperion bot that Jonas is selling now. And this is the final iteration, the 3rd one, of the Infinity bot. They are identical. I'm talking identical. Every last field is identical. He hasn't changed a thing. So basically, he's been upgrading until he hit the Infinity Bot, or now Hyperion 1.7, and now that's where he stopped. Guys, listen, think about it. Do you really think that the Aurora Bot is any different? Jonas is the brains behind the bots. The Aurora Bot has got to be the identical bot. And here Jonas was selling it for 27 bucks a month. But you know what? Here's where I'm going to need your help. Anybody that's in the Aurora system, I'd really like to get a copy of the Aurora Bot. Now, if you get it to me quite soon, it'll expire at the end of January, right? Because these things have an expiry on them. I'm sure the Aurora Bot's got an expiry on it at the end of January. So it's not like I'm going to go running to the bank and making oodles of money. No. What I want to do is compare the input fields and see if they're the same. Because I'll bet you anything that they are. We're looking at identical bots here. They haven't even bothered to upgrade the bot since the Infinity System. And that's the big mind-blowing deal of the whole thing, is that they're all freaking the same. But I need to prove it, okay? So I have Hyperion all set up here in MT5, and I got his settings, his set files and everything while I was in the system before I got punted out. He has 5 of them for 5 different pairs, and I've got them all set up here, and they're on. So I'm going to start trading tomorrow. And he doesn't trade Fridays nor Mondays for some stupid reason. I'm going to trade it on Monday, though. And we're going to see how this puppy works, because I want to test it out. And I'll be checking in with you periodically through that time. Now, there's not much time between now and the end of January. Oh, and the difference between this bot and the Hyperion that was in the middle of last summer is that they've now had Bollinger Bands, and that's what they did midway, well, in about the 3rd iteration of the Infinity System, and now it's got Bollinger Bands, which is another indicator that's used to place trades. So his settings are quite different than what they were using in Infinity, because you see, I was tracking the Infinity Bot too with his settings to see how well it did during that whole time, and it never did well. And he could never come up with settings that would do well. Now he seems quite confident, and I can see what he's doing. We'll see if it works or not, but I will be reporting to you, and I will be running this with you all, and we'll see how it goes. So this is why I need your help, is to see, is Aurora the same, or am I comparing apples to oranges here? I would hope that I can run this test side by each with you, and we'll see how this actually goes this time, because every time it's failed. Well, we'll see if it does any better this time around, eh? I'd love to share this with you. So check out my thumbnails. Where it usually says scam alert on my thumbnails, you're going to see test drive, and that's going to be directly dealing and only dealing with how this bot is doing. And let's give it a go with everybody together, eh? So I sure hope that one of you will contact me. My contact information is at the bottom in the description. You can contact me through Telegram. Telegram is a free download. It's a really easy messaging platform. So I sure do hope to hear from somebody. You guys take care and stay out of trouble. And if I've missed anything, please mention it in the comments. And if you've got any observations, please throw them in there. I can't wait to hear from you all. Talk to you soon, and you take care. Darlene out.